The 15-Point Plan is part of the Win, Make, Give podcast network.
Welcome back to another episode of the 15-Point Plan podcast. My name is Ryan Greigg, and as always, I'm here with my co-host, Jacqueline Smith. Jacqueline, it's great to be here today. What are we talking about today, Jacqueline?
Hello, everyone. We are talking today about Ryan and I's favorite things. So our favorite products that are related to some of the points in the 15-Point Plan. So we have each picked out 3 products that we couldn't live without that help us get more points every day. And we're going to share those with you today. So Ryan, why don't you start with your first one? Which point is it related to, and what is the product, and why do you love it?
Yeah, that's right, Jacqueline. This is a fun episode just to talk about some of the things. We might have talked about these on previous podcast episodes, but these are some of the products that we probably couldn't really live without to really enhance that 15-point plan. And we each have 3, each relation to one of the points from the plan. But I think it's important to know these are just some of the things that we really love. This is not a paid advertisement for any of these products. If they'd like to sponsor us, we could talk about that to these products. But this is not a paid advertisement nor a sponsorship, just some products that we like to use. So let me start with a couple, Jacqueline. And I'm going to go for the movement point to start us off.
Okay.
And I thought a lot about this because I've spent thousands of dollars on products over the years to help me in my gym. And I didn't want to share something that costs a bunch of money. And so I picked actually 2 products, I hope that's okay, to combine into one. And these 2 products, I think anybody can afford, and you can use them anytime, anywhere. That's what I love about them. So number 1 is a jump rope. You can hop online or go to your local store and find a good quality jump rope for 10 to 12 bucks. And you pair that with an elastic band, like a cable band. Now, I think it's important to know, Jacqueline, you got to get the cable band that has a little hook on it so that it can go into your door. You close the door and then you can use that band to pull, to push. Those are 10 to 20 bucks as well. So the combination of a jump rope and that band, it can fit into a backpack. So anytime you're traveling, you can take it where you go. You can get a really good workout and knock out that movement point for 20 bucks with a jump rope and a stretch band. And those are just 2 products that I've really been loving using, and they're super inexpensive and you can take them anywhere. So that was one reason why I chose those as one of my favorite products for the movement category. What's first on your list?
Well, after you work out with your bands that Ryan shared and your jump rope, you want a good night's sleep, right? So mine was to help with the sleep point. And this has actually been a game changer for me. And I think if one of our friends, Valerie, is listening, she's from New Mexico. We roomed together on a trip to New York, and she was into earplugs. And I was like, oh, no, I don't need earplugs. I'm a sound sleeper, Valerie. And, I didn't use earplugs. So when I got home, I tried these Loop earplugs. They're called Loop, L-O-O-P. And they actually have different earplugs that you can use. You can use them there's one that is helpful to bring to concerts to enhance the experience, and some other ones, but I use the sleep ones. And I thought I was a sound sleeper until I got these earplugs, and I sleep so well. I don't wake up, and they're really comfortable and they're reusable. So you don't have to go through mounds of those gross foamy ones, and they come in a really cute little case, and I use them every night, and they're just really comfortable to sleep on, because you can use your if you have an iPhone and you have the AirPods, and that's what my husband does, but it hurts my ears to lay on those. So these are
Sure.
soft, and they work really well, and they're noise canceling. So it just helps me get a deeper sleep, and I love them. I bring them everywhere I go now. So yeah.
That's super cool. So did you say your husband uses AirPods, like the noise canceling AirPods as an earplug?
He'll put like music on or something. I can't do it.
Oh, sure. Have you had any experiences without those earplugs that was it like harder to sleep now without using them?
I think I just sleep a lot more soundly with them. So I don't have a problem falling asleep. And I also didn't have a problem staying asleep. I actually didn't have a sleep problem. So I wasn't trying to solve anything, but after Valerie raved about earplugs, I think actually Jolene got her onto earplugs. So our,
Hmm.
our former host, Jolene got her onto them. She got me onto them. So apparently they're a thing.
Got it. Okay, so those were called loop earplugs. Those are going to help you sleep and make sure that you get that good sleep so you can check that sleep point off on the plan. Now,
Yep.
if we get a good night's sleep, Jacqueline, then we're going to wake up feeling great the next day. But no matter how great we feel the next day when we wake up, sometimes it's just a little hard to get out of bed. And so the
Hmm.
next product that I'm going to share, it sounds so simple. You might even laugh at me a little bit, but this product, anybody can buy this. Anybody can, you might already have one. But one of the things that helps me get up in the morning and really check that mindfulness point, well, I have a lot of things that I use in my meditation room, but the one thing that really helps me get out of bed and into that is just a nice blanket. And I laugh even saying that. And you might laugh when you hear that going, really, Ryan? Like, of all the things you could have chosen, a nice blanket was in the top three. And yes, and here's the reason why. Because as soon as you put that blanket on, you get this sense of comfort, this sense of like, I'm in my meditation space. I feel like I've wrapped my cloak around me and now I've tapped into that energy to really allow me to get into my mindfulness. And I look at that blanket every day and it just reminds me how powerful that moment is. And I look forward to it every morning. And it's another just inexpensive product. The one I use, I actually bought. One of the things I like to do when I travel is I buy blankets from all around the world. I have
Hmm.
them from Mexico, I have them from the Caribbean, I have them from Peru, Central and South America. And I just have this very beautiful, bright, colorful blanket that I got in Mexico on a street corner for probably $10.
Hmm.
And when I put that on, it just really allows me to go deeper within myself, within my mindfulness and my meditation. And I thought for those people that maybe don't want to get out of bed, don't like to meditate, haven't figured that out yet, maybe it would help you if you had that cozy blanket that you put around you and that like signal to your brain, hey, it's your time now. It is time for you now. Remember, it's not selfish to have self-care. It's not selfish to take some time to yourself. So grab a blanket and see if that helps you really just wrap yourself up in your mindfulness. So that was one thing that really stood out to me to help my mindfulness and my meditation in the mornings.
So simple. A
So
blankie.
simple.
Who doesn't love
Now,
a good
like
blankie?
what?
I said, who doesn't love a good blankie?
Well, and again, I want this to be relatable. I've got some other things in there. A UV light, the Joov, Joov. I love that product, but it's $1,500. Like, not
Wow.
everybody's going to go buy an ultraviolet UV light, right? So I'm not talking about. I want this relatable and things that anybody can do anywhere. So a good blanket really helps me hit that mindfulness point. What's your second one, Jacqueline?
So I went with it could be two different points here. I think it's an influences point and it's also a learn point, and it's actually an app and it's called Growth Day. So you can download the app. It's Growth Day, and then there are different membership levels, but there are some free. There's a free version, and then there's different levels that you can join. And I like listening every single day to the Daily Fire. It's just a short message from Brennan Burchard, and it'll be like today's was on if you're feeling easily overwhelmed. So he was talking a lot about
Hmm.
overwhelm. And so it's usually just something related to life, business, leadership, and health. And I listen to it on my drive in. It's kind of my routine. And our whole real estate team here listens to it, actually. I've got them all onto it. And so then we can talk about it and share our ahas. And I love that. I listen to it 7 days a week. I don't very rarely miss a daily fire. And the funny thing is they disappear at the end of
Yeah.
each day. So you have to listen that day or you miss it. Gone forever. So I love that app. I started using it a couple of years ago, and it's just become part of my morning routine on my drive in. Helps get my mindset right and gives me different perspectives. And so I learn something, and it's a positive influence in my life.
Such a good point. You're checking two boxes with that point. You're learning something, you have a positive influence in your life. Now you have something you can talk about within your team.
Yeah.
And I mean, let's just talk about Brendan Burchard for a second. When I think about people that I want to be like, that I want to have energy like, that I want to have success like, he
Mhm.
checks all those boxes. And if we know that we want to be like someone and they're offering something like that, that's there every single day, It's
Mhm.
so powerful. And now you're building that habit every morning, like on your drive to work. There's nothing you have to go out of your way to go do. Can I ask a question though, Jacqueline?
Sure.
Uh, I was feeling really overwhelmed this week, actually, and I have not listened to that daily fire. Could you
Mhm.
share with me one of your takeaways from that talk on
Yeah.
overwhelmed and what I can do to not feel overwhelmed and our guests?
Yeah, and you have to listen to it because it's pretty in depth. I think it was like a 20-minute episode this morning. And I guess one of the things that it reminded me to do is to make sure that I'm keeping a really good schedule and scheduling in my white space and my schedule. A lot of people they feel like they don't want to schedule, and having a schedule or always being scheduled overwhelms them. But he talked about how there's so many people that don't have a schedule and they're equally or more overwhelmed. So it's not necessarily about um, it's more about your perspective on time and on stress and how to use your calendar so that you don't have to remember everything. You're just operating and executing your daily plan. So simple, but he goes deeper into like the psychology around it and everything too. It's really good.
That was a really good share. Thank you for sharing that. And that totally makes sense, right? Like you think,
Mhm.
okay, would I be more stressed if my calendar was booked from 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. or less stressed if I had nothing on the calendar from 8 a.m. till 8 p.m.? And that thought actually scares me more than having the calendar full. The idea
Mhm.
of waking up and having no structure to the day, I could see how that would overwhelm me because I'm picking and choosing, but probably not in the best order.
Right. Yeah.
So that was thank you for sharing that and let me put you on the spot. Okay, number 3 for me,
Yeah.
being overwhelmed, having a tight schedule, being focused on our time, making sure we're getting these good influences. I've talked about this one before, but I got to share it because it's it's super impactful in my life. And this is a product called CMOS.
Mhm.
And you and I have talked about it. I've talked about it with probably every one of our guests, but sea moss is an algae, right? It's an algae that grows from the sea that when you
Mhm.
harvest it, there's a process that you go through and it turns
Mhm.
into kind of like a gel. And a lot of people will take that and maybe mix it with other products. For example, I had a really good sea moss that had some mango and some other flavors blended into it. But the particular brand that I've been a big fan of is called Moss Tings, Mosstingz. And that's a Caribbean slang type thing. Like we say tings, like things. But so Moss Tings.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a great company with a really cool mission behind them, but they sell a high quality sea moss that is just a gel. There's nothing else added to it. There's no other flavors or sugars or anything else added to it. And as far as being on a tight schedule, focusing on our time, getting good sleep, getting good energy, I take a spoonful of this in the morning and a spoonful in the afternoon. It takes me what, 3 seconds?
Mhm.
And they say sea moss has roughly 90 of the 105 vitamins and minerals that your body needs. So by taking that one spoonful, I'm getting almost 90% of the vitamins and minerals that your body needs. And it's in a readily absorbable gel that your body just takes right in. It decreases inflammation, it promotes energy. There's so many benefits behind it. And it's a product that I've been using. I've connected with Moss Tings. I'm on a subscription now. $100 a month. I get that. I get 4 jars, and I'm like giving it to everybody. Like I'm
Mhm.
getting like my mom's on it, like my son's mom's on it, my partner's on it. Like I'm giving it to everybody because of the benefits that I've found in it. So CMOS is my third in that supplement category, and the particular product that I've really enjoyed is called Moss Tings. Mosstingz.
I'm gonna have to try that. I've never tried sea moss. It does not sound appetizing, I have to admit, but I'm willing to
It
try it.
has just sorry to go back here, Jacqueline, but it has almost no flavor. It's got a little algae flavor, but the cool thing about it, you can mix it into anything.
Right.
Like you can mix it into your smoothie. One of
Mhm.
my favorite things, I make these really good waffles, and I make a
Mhm.
little side of berry syrup. You put a big spoonful of that sea moss into the berry syrup.
Mhm.
This is just berries cooked down.
Mhm. Mhm.
You put a spoonful in there, and like my son and all of his friends have no idea what's in there. They love it, they eat it, and they're getting all their vitamins and minerals too. So you can blend it in and mix it into anything.
Awesome. Okay. My third one is a little play on time. It gives me more time, Ryan. It gives me my time back. I don't do it all the time, but if I have a busy weekend or I'm feeling overwhelmed, getting behind, a friend of mine introduced me to this a few months ago, and some of you might have seen me post if you follow me on social media because I got really excited when I tried it. It's also an app, but it's a laundry service. And before you think I'm all bougie with my laundry service, it is actually a lot less expensive than you would have thought. And so it's called Poplin, Poplin. And what you do is you put your laundry in a bag. So I use like kitchen garbage bags. You put them on the porch and then it's like Uber Eats for your laundry. You fill out the app, they come and pick it up, they wash it, they dry it, they fold it. You can even specify if you want things hung up to dry. It takes a little longer to get it back. You can provide your own detergents. If you have specific detergents and things that you like to have your clothes washed with, you can provide those and they'll do it for you. But one kitchen garbage bag, depending on what you put in there, because it's all by weight, but it's usually around, $12 or $15. And so it's not very much. And on those times where you're feeling really pressed, it has been a game changer for me. It gives me time where I might have normally had to spend it, folding laundry and doing laundry to get some of my other points, like my hobby point, right? Or doing some more learning, reading a book. So I love it. And I've shared it with many people. This has become one of my favorite gifts to give to new moms, people who have had maybe a death in the family, client gifts. It stands out and people have really appreciated it. I had one client of mine who had a baby recently and I sent her a gift card for the laundry service and she said it was the best gift that she had received. She waited until her mom, had gone back home. She was visiting for the first couple of weeks. All the extra help goes home, and then you're left with these mounds of laundry. So I personally love it. And if you want to get $10 off, I will send you my code. All you have to do is message me on Instagram. It's Jacqueline Ray Smith, and I will send you a $10 off code. So that's almost a stuffed full kitchen garbage bag full of laundry that you can get done. But you're going to have to share our podcast, and I will send you the $10 off link. So it's Poplin. Give it a try. It's going to be your new favorite thing, especially if you hate laundry like me. I don't mind doing the laundry, Ryan, but I don't know what it is. I hate folding it. I don't like that part.
I am right there with you, Jacqueline, and you just sold me on this for sure. I like despise laundry. I hate folding it. And ask anybody that's been to my house. There's piles. They're all clean. They're just in the corners of my room and they just never get put away. So can they put the stuff away though? What do I got to pay them to come?
So that's the thing is you have to put it away. But when it comes back to you in these clear bags, all folded so nicely,
Right.
Tied with a ribbon, it's like you want to put it away. And so, and that's all you have to do is just put it away. It takes 5 minutes, right? It's the folding part that I don't like. So this has been great. And this has been so fun to learn about your 3 favorite products. And we hope that everyone listening will give some of them a try and share with us if you try them and if they become some of your favorite products. We'd love to hear your experience. And anything to close us up, Ryan?
No, I hope everybody enjoyed what we share with y'all today. Follow Jacqueline Ray Smith. That's Jacqueline R-A-E, right? Jacqueline Ray Smith on Instagram and Ryan Park Greigg. I do also have a discount code for the CMOS that I just remembered that they shared with me. So if you'd like a discount code for Poplin, the laundry service, so you can buy some of your time back, get more of your hobbies done, just have more time, message Jacqueline. And if you'd like that discount code for the CMOS, message me, Ryan Park Greigg on Instagram as well. As always, share the podcast with anybody that you think might get some value from it. I want to thank all of our guests that have been for the last few episodes. My phone was getting a lot of messages, Jacqueline, from our guest Isaiah Fleesbach that had come and talked about movement from this week's podcast. So thank you to Isaiah, to Amy, to all of our guests that have come. And of course, thanks to the listeners for sharing, for liking. You can check all other podcasts at winmakegive.com. And until next week, we love your feedback and we love hearing from you. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.